Yo, what's going on, everyone? DBougie86 back, and welcome back to Top 10 Tuesdays as usual. This week we are doing snow-themed horror films, which that implies going to involve like just films set in what's it called? Like a snowy time or like Christmas time, either one. And what I did with this list, because it's actually a very hard list, I only did like two Christmas themed horror films in my list. And let's talk about one film in particular that's not going to be on this list for one reason only, and that is Frozen. Now, Frozen isn't going to be on this list for two reasons. One, I don't own it. And two, Frozen's a really hard film for me to like rewatch. These films I have in this list are ones I rewatched during this time. Because I don't get me wrong, I love Frozen. It's a great film, but it's very hard watch for rewatching value because you know what's gonna happen in the film and you feel for those characters in that situation. And it is a film that makes you sad and stuff, and I don't see myself rewatching Frozen anytime soon, even though I do give it a solid rating. Other than that, these are like films that I rewatch in my collection over and over again, and I enjoy them because they're fun and excited, and you interesting stories. Now, let's get into this list. Let's not get in. Well, first up, you're probably gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And I'm holding a multi-pack in my hand. And you're wondering why I'm holding this multi-pack is for one film in particular. And that is Snowbeast. Which is I believe it's a made-for-TV film from, when did that come out? 1977. With Bo Stevenson. It takes place on a ski resort. And it's pretty much like a Sasquatch slash abominable snowman film. This snow creature is attacking the residents of the ski resort, and it's up to a few people to try to stop it. It's pretty much the plot of the film, and it's just fun as hell with like all the snow, and it has some great scenery with the skiers. It's actually one funny scene in the film that I really enjoyed. That's why it's on the list, because I do rewatch it because it's a fun film. Snowbeast. Next up, we got kind of like a slow burn type film. Very interesting. It's from Larry Fessenden. If you don't know who he is, he actually will make an appearance on this list again. And that's Wendigo. This family moves into this new area, and this kid finds like this Wendigo like sculpture, and this weird stuff just starts to happen around him. It's a very interesting film with some great like acting from the cast, and it has this very great like forest area with snow as the backdrop. It's very wintry and spiritual with this story of the Wendigo. Yeah, I actually really enjoy like Wendigo. It's an interesting film. Very darkly and beautifully shot, in my opinion. It's at number 9. Number 8, we got a Christmas horror film. Well, it's more of like a character study. It has horror elements though, and that's Christmas Evil. Just the whole Christmas aspect of this film, and just the main character. It's really interesting following him through his story of what happens leading up to Christmas, and this backdrop and on Christmas with the snow and these chase scenes and all that. It was really interesting film. Christmas Evil is like one of my favorite Christmas films. Highly recommendable. That's at number 7. Oh, that was number 8. My bad. We're at number 7 now. Number 7 is Dead Snow. Now, I like both Dead Snow films very much. I actually like the second one a little bit more because it's a little more fun than the first one. But I wanted to only put one, and I had to choose the first one because it does have more snow elements in it, and the setting like this vast German Alps with Nazi zombies, of course. If you can't tell by the title, if you haven't seen this film, really interesting. I do recommend both of them, but I'm only putting the first one on the list because of the more snow element in it. So Dead Snow. That was a number 7. Number 6, we got a TV film, another one, and it's written by Stephen King, of course, and that's Storm of the Century, which is a very, very long film. It's really interesting what happens with this main character played by what's his name? Name of the actor in the film? Colin Farrell, who really is the one who steals the show with his character, and when he comes to this small town and starts creating this havoc during this giant snowstorm in this Maine town. I believe it's Maine, Castle Rock, I believe this film takes place in, which is a usual place. Oh, it takes place off the coast of Castle Rock. That's what it was. I forgot. It's been a while since I watched this one. It actually kind of cool too because they mention like certain characters from Stephen King's novels, like Dolores Claiborne, and really interesting film. I like the performances in it. It's number 6. Number 5, we got the other Christmas film that I love, and that's Bob Clark's classic Black Christmas. Great, like proto slasher before Halloween, and it's really well done. It's isolated in this house, and like the snow going on, and these girls in this dorm room, and they're getting phone calls. Really interesting film. If I had to put like one slasher type film on my list, it has to be Black Christmas because it is like the perfect Christmas film for me, anyways. That's just my opinion. There's others out there, but I just like how this one plays, and I like the actors in it, like John Saxon and Margaret Ketter. Yeah, Black Christmas, awesome film. And number 5. Number 4, we got the other Larry Fessenden film that's going to be making this list. And this one takes place in Alaska, and it stars one of my favorite like genre actors of all time, Ron Perlman, and that's The Last Winter. This film has like this isolated setting, which is awesome, with like this oil company, and the strange stuff starts to happen. I want to really get into it because I'll just ruin the film. But it's really slow moving, and the acting is really well done with like, especially Ron Perlman. I wish he actually did more roles like he did in The Last Winter, which is one of his better performances in later days, I have to say. And it's just a great film. It has the chick from the first season of American Horror Story, and Connie Britton, and James LeGros, who you might remember he was Mike in Phantasm too. Really interesting film with beautiful shots like Fessenden usually does, and great setting in Alaska. That's a number 4. Number 3 is a very hard to watch film because of the company that owns it, because it is a Code Red film, and that is Ghostkeeper. This is like kind of like has something to do with like the Wendigo Legend 2, which I'm not gonna really get into because I don't want to ruin the film for you. But it's pretty much these group of friends go, or like it sets place on New Year's, and they're skiing up these mountains, and there's a bad blizzard happening, and their snow machines end up dying, so they end up finding this isolated hotel, which they end up in, and they meet this weird caretaker like character in the film, and then it starts going weirder and weirder. It's a very slow moving film, but the payoff at the end is just awesome. Ghostkeeper at number 3. Number 2 is, of course, Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, the most epicest horror film of all time, with like the way the quote on the back describes it, with awesome performance by Jack Nicholson, and this awesome like the same thing with like Ghostkeeper, with the hotel like as the main like character of the film, and you before the winter scenes start, and you slowly edge up to the hotel, and it's just dark, and the snow just absorbs the hotel on certain sides, and this hedge maze that's in the snow, and it's really beautifully well done, and it's probably Kubrick's greatest shot film of the films, because it has some awesome shots in it, performances, and just some good like horror film. I know Stephen King disowned this film because Kubrick changed his novel, but it works for the film in my opinion, because it's just a better story the way it was told. So The Shining at number 2, and of course at number 1, one of my favorite horror films of all time, and that is John Carpenter's The Thing. This great set in Alaska with this like awesome cast of characters like Kurt Russell as McCready and Wilfred Brimley as Blair, and just a bunch of them, and just like this, I love how it's like this Ten Little Indian story, but they involve like this alien life force that when it gets into you, it could like absorb you and become you. It's really well done, and I just love like the sudden. The only gripe that I have with this Blu-ray, by the way, is like I have the DVD. It's at my buddy's house. I would have showed that off if I had it. Is there's no features on it, and the DVD has a ton of features. I just wanted to mention that real quick, because I'd rather you prefer you get the DVD, and hopefully they'll release like a better Blu-ray in the future of this film. But I actually just got this Blu-ray just for the cover art, because it has the original poster art on the film, and it's just really well done. It has some great special effects by Rob Bottin, and Stan Winston does a few effects in the film also, and it's just really well done. It's one of Carpenter's best films in my opinion. It's kind of like, the way I would describe it, it's like him making like a Western type film without making a Western, because it has like all these strong male characters going at each other in different ways. That's the way I would describe The Thing. And it has an awesome, awesome atmospheric score by Ennio Morricone, which even makes this film even more awesome when you hear that first theme. Yeah, The Thing at number 1. Alright guys, that's all I got for you this week on Top 10 Tuesdays. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, check out the other guys' videos. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Peace out.